public vote. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 0 points.
Hello. Welcome to I'm Sorry, 0 Points, Season 5, Episode 6, with myself, Adrian.
And me, Seamus.
How are you, Seamus? It's the day after the night before.
Yes, and I think we're both a little bit tired and croaky and emotional.
Yes, and the reason being is we were at Dublin calling last night.
Dublin called and we answered.
We certainly did. We let our hair down, what's left of it, last night.
We did.
Yes.
It was one of those nights where we had to let our hair down and just have a good time, and as did everybody, I think.
I think so. And kudos to OK Ireland.
Absolutely.
And the team.
Yep.
They did a great job. And we had 3 great performances, 3 very different performances.
For everyone who doesn't know what the hell Dublin Calling was, it was an event organised by the Irish Eurovision Fan Club, OK Ireland. And yes, we had 3 fantastic former Eurovision artists perform. We had Vaeb from Iceland, we had Nebulosa from Spain, and we had, on her 30th anniversary of her win, Emer Quinn, our last winner.
Yes, and she certainly can still sing and perform. I thought her set was actually really interesting, actually. And looking back at the videos and stuff last night on the social media, she still has it. She is still the voice.
As one of the commentators said about Johnny Logan long ago, she's looking and sounding better than ever. And Emer certainly is looking great and still sounding great. Yes, and she gave a lovely cover of JJ's Wasted Love and Nemo's The Code before then obviously giving her version of The Voice. But yeah, fantastic. Great way to end the night. Yeah,
and Adam did a great job hosting and presenting.
Yes, indeed. Adam from All Things Adam. Tough job, but well done.
Tough job, yeah. He did really well. Not easy to do that. And a big crowd and lots of new faces and familiar faces. Yeah, it was such a good night. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, really good. So huge thanks and well done to Frank and Jonathan and all the organising team, Aaron and all the DJs and everyone. Great night. So well done to everyone involved in that. So yes, that's why we're a little bit croaky today, listeners.
Yes, we are. And Seamus, can you tell us, because I can't remember, what is coming up on this week's episode?
So in episodes coming up later in April, we will actually have interviews with Vaeb from Iceland and Emer Quinn. But in today's episode, we are reviewing the songs from Serbia, Germany, Italy, and Australia for this year's Eurovision. Where are we off to first, Adrian?
Well, Seamus, we are off to Serbia first. Serbia is going bold for 2026 after a competitive national final. The band Lavina emerged victorious with their atmospheric and powerful track, Kraj Mene, which translates to By My Side. Lavina dominated the Serbian selection, securing the top spot with both the professional jury and the public televote. Lavina are a 6-piece progressive modern metal band from Nice in Serbia. They officially formed in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. They were formed by brothers Luka and Pavel, along with another Pavel, Andrea and Nikola and Bojan, who plays the drums. They spent their first year and a half in total isolation, writing and self-recording. Lavina broke onto the scene in 2022 with the release of their debut album, Odyssey. Their sound is a larger-than-life mix of heavy metal and rock with progressive elements, often featuring orchestral arrangements, choirs, and notably Eastern music motifs that give their sound a distinct Balkan flavour. To promote their album, they embarked on an ambitious Odyssey tour and have become known for their high-energy live performances that have earned them a following across the Balkans and Central Europe. While Lavina has always written in English, 2025 marked a strategic shift when they decided to apply for the National Song Contest. They were forced by the contest rules to write in Serbian. This led to the creation of Kraj Mene, which was originally written in English as The End of Me. The song is a powerful and emotional track. It tells the story of unrequited love and captures the feelings of longing, vulnerability, and heartbreak. The main theme is the tension between desire and reality, and the song's rhythm mirrors the emotional highs and lows of unreciprocated love. So Serbia is looking for a comeback after failing to qualify for the grand final in 2025. Lavina will perform in the first semi-final on May 12th. Let's have a listen. Well, Seamus, what do you think of Serbia and Lavina's Kraj Mene?
Well, I'm interested actually just in listening to your description there that they were formed during COVID. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder is that why there's so much angst in their songs? And because the pandemic, they seem a bit, I don't know, angry and want to scream and shout a lot because there's a lot of screaming and shouting in this song.
There is, but they're a heavy metal band. That's what heavy
They
metal
are.
do.
It's all about, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually at the start of the song, I found the vocal was actually quite low, and actually extremely low. And I was like, what's going on here? But
Mm.
then as it went on, I was like, he's just saving his voice for the screaming that was about to come later on in the song.
Yes.
And actually, I'm saying the screaming, but we'll say the singing. It actually sounds quite painful. Like it actually sounds sore on his voice. That's what I thought when I was listening to this. And it just made me think, how the hell is he going to do this rehearsal after rehearsal at Eurovision? Like he's going to have to be really careful and minding his voice, I thought.
Mm.
Because yeah, I just thought it sounded quite sore the way he sings. Um, I liked the kind of look in terms of like the black outfits on everyone, and the sword microphone stand. I kind of liked that. But I did feel the staging was lacking a bit. I felt like they could have done a lot more with the staging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the staging was almost maybe slightly boring for the type of song that it is. So I feel, well, I hope they will kind of put a bit more effort into the staging for Eurovision, and give us a bit more in terms of the presentation of the song on the stage. Um, the sudden vocal change at the end then was also quite interesting, I thought. Interesting way to end the song. But look, this isn't really my cup of tea. It's not a surprise. This isn't my kind of music. However, there will definitely
Mm-hmm.
be an audience for this. Whether it'll qualify, I'm not sure. But if it does, I can't really see this doing well in the final. But again, maybe it's just because it's not my cup of tea. I'm not so sure. What do you think of it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have some valid points there. I would disagree. I would think that this would qualify no bother in
Mm,
the final, and it will have a certain following, I guess.
mm,
As we know from previous contests and from talking to people, there are people who are into this type of music who also follow the Eurovision.
yeah.
Um, I think this is one of the more daring and different choices in this year's Eurovision, and I think that's good in my opinion because it will stand out. I like the staging. I do accept what you say, though. I mean, they need to go huge
Mm,
with this on the bigger stage, and I think they'll have an opportunity to do that. I really like the build up of the song. Like, I know there is a lot of screaming towards the end of the song, but that build up to that particular piece is really well done. I still think they could improve it though as well. And I get the story of this song. And I think they tell it, even though it is in Serbian, you get what they're trying to say, really. I think Luca, the frontman, is really brilliant, actually, which you want your frontman to be. I think he has a magnetic and theatrical presence,
mm,
and I really like that aesthetic. And so I think that he'll appeal to a lot of people. While it will be impactful, there's going to be definitely a divide,
yeah.
so some people won't get it. And I would say that the darker pieces of the song might be too aggressive for some people. But it is what it is, and it's definitely different. If I had one minor kind of critique, it would be perhaps that at the beginning, at the build of the song, I actually thought the backing vocals were too loud because it actually was louder than Luca. So I think they probably need to work on the harmony bit there, and I think it'll sound really, really well. Overall, I think this is powerful and it's definitely memorable. I think it will get through to the final, and I think it'll do okay, I think.
Mm.
But they'll definitely, like, the song is the song. They'll definitely have to up it with the staging. You're right on that piece, just to garner more points. I always like a good rock song in the middle of it all because I think it's important, that
Yeah.
all genres of music are represented.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
have a bit of diversity musically. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like we've heard better songs of that type in Eurovision before. I'm just not sure does it stand up to other ones that have gone before it. But anyway, we shall see in Vienna in May.
Yeah, we will. And it's definitely a risk for
Mm,
Serbia, but it won their national final pretty easily. So um, there's an appeal there.
yeah.
So looking forward to see what they're going to do with it. And we have seen it kind of before, as well. And you're probably right, there probably are better rock songs, but I think it'll do okay.
Yeah, no,
So,
even online there's definitely an interest for it anyway. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to
yeah.
see how it gets on in May.
Yeah. So, Seamus, where are we off to next?
We're not going too far away from Serbia. We're off to Germany next. Deutschland calling. In Germany, 9 songs participated in Das Deutsche Finale back on Saturday, 28th of February. But it was Sarah Engels and her song Fire that topped the voting poll with 38% of the German viewers' votes. Sarah is a 33-year-old singer from Cologne, and she rose to fame in Germany after she participated in Deutschland's Sucht den Superstar in 2011, which is basically German Idol. And she's a regular on kind of reality TV shows in Germany. She's done Let's Dance, Celebrity Bake Off, The Masked Singer, Dancing on Ice. So she's done it all. Since November last year, she's been also treading the boards in the musical Moulin Rouge, and she's released 6 albums and numerous singles in Germany. So Sarah co-wrote her Eurovision song Fire along with Valentine Bose, Louisa Hinman, Raphael Lott and Dario Schumerman. Fire is described as an anthem of empowerment, solidarity and self-determination. As Germany is one of the big 4 countries, they're directly through to the grand final on Saturday, the 16th of May. So let's have a listen to Fire.
Just wait a minute, you're gonna see that you won't find another like me. You come around and I'll be too late, 'cause I won't do the same old mistake. I can fake it till I make it, but I won't. If you crave it, you can take it, but you don't. I don't want it, I don't need it, and I won't let you repeat it. You just play it till you're breaking and it's blown, blown, blown. I'm on fire, fire. You're a liar, liar. Stop denying, lying, no lying, lying no more. Like a vampire, you act and come out the night. Stop denying, lying, no lying, lying no more. I'm on fire, fire. Stop denying, lying, no lying, lying no more. Like a vampire, you act and come out the night. Stop denying, lying, no lying, lying no more.
Now, Adrian, put a lump of coal on the fire there. What do you make of Deutschland this year?
Oh, you know what, James? A hot femme fatale in a sparkly bodysuit singing about fire with a dance break in Eurovision.
We've never seen that before, have we?
It's hardly groundbreaking. Like, is it? Oh my God. Okay, I better not start off too negative, but come on. I mean, we've definitely seen all of this before. Look, I'll give it this. It's an earworm. It's catchy. You can sing along to it, and it's, very radio friendly, as they say. Sarah's a good singer. She gives a really professional performance. I do like the way she winks and her suggestive looks. That she's serving to the camera. She does her best
That was a
to
bit like
sell
you at
this.
Dublin calling, wasn't it? With the winks and suggestive looks.
That was just me twitch, along with a lot of alcohol. So she does her best to sell the song. I had no song to sell last night, but yeah. And I think it all works from that perspective. It's a good pop song. And it's well staged, but nothing groundbreaking. It's definitely a safe middle of the road bet. Honestly, for me, this is boring. Sorry. And there's nothing about it that kind of stands out. It's very generic. We've seen it all before, as I said. I'm not overly excited about this at all. And really the bit that really got on me is that this song continues the era of the clunky boot.
Oh,
They look like they've stepped out of a wrestling ring. Like, I mean, their footwear. That would be definitely one style change that I would demand. Does nobody dance in high heels anymore? Like, come on. Even changing the footwork, I don't think, or footwear would make a difference here, to be honest. So sorry
maybe they
again.
all have bad arches in their feet or something, and they need a good
Well,
sturdy, clunky
yeah,
boot
yeah, well, come
to
on.
support.
Yeah, they're terrible. Anyway, look, I'm sure there'll be many people who will be gyrating to this, and no doubt, Seamus, you'll be one of them.
Probably will be, yeah.
Yes.
Um, no, look, I agree with a lot of what you said there. She can certainly sing. We'll give her that.
Hmm.
She has a very good voice, yeah. And actually, I don't mind the song. It's not too bad, in
I knew
fairness.
you'd
It's
like
actually
it.
all
I
right.
knew you'd like it.
Um, but that's kind of where it ends. I think the song's fine. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not going to win a Grammy for best lyrics or anything, but the song itself is fine. The music I like, the instrumentation I like. I like that in parts of the song you can kind of hear like I think it's like trumpets in the background, which I actually like. It kind of gives the song a bit of a carnival feel. And
All
for
right.
me, I would kind of like to see her maybe go down that kind of route because what's wrong with this is the presentation. Like you said, we've seen this all before, and she certainly is no Eleni Ferreira and she's no Chanel. You know, her
No, she's
presentation,
not.
it's a bit too basic, actually. Um,
Yeah.
so I would change the presentation and I would maybe like to see her do something more fun, festivally, carnival-y kind of feel to the song. Because I don't know, it's too basic. It's like, because
You
if you're
kind
going to
of,
come
would
to
you
Eurovision,
camp it up? Like, would you camp it up?
yeah, like camp it up,
Mm,
make it fun,
mm.
more fun, more lively, more festival vibe, more like Rio de Janeiro kind of vibe almost. I don't know
Oh,
because
yeah.
what she's doing at the moment, every Eurovision fan is immediately going to compare her like to Eleni and Chanel, Shady Lady, all, the ones who've gone before her, who've done it
Yeah.
really well. And
Hmm.
she's not at that level. She's not doing it well enough. So why put yourself in comparison to those former Eurovision artists? Try and do something different, I think. That would be my suggestion. But yeah, it is an earworm, like you said. So I think people
Mm.
will be dancing and gyrating away to this. And yeah, I'll probably be dancing away to it myself. But
This is
yeah,
definitely your type of song.
because the song
Um,
isn't too bad. Like it's not great, but it's not bad. But the presentation is bad. That's what's bad. Um,
yeah.
this will probably be bottom 10, I would say.
Oh, I'd say this will be bottom five.
Yeah, might be. I didn't want to say it,
Mm,
but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Very professional performance. She obviously can
Mm,
sing. She's a
yeah.
professional. So, um, I just would worry about it. It's just very
Mm.
meh. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a bit meh.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
an awful thing to say, but it is a
Yeah,
bit
and
meh.
we don't mean it like, are we being overly critical there? Like, I mean, there isn't a lot to get excited about. I mean, she does a great job singing it, and I think it's staged okay. And the dance break, I thought it was poor though.
See, this is it. Like
Mm,
she's really making it a dancey presentation, but she can't do the dancing the same way like Chanel and Eleni did, you
yeah.
know?
Well,
So,
nobody's going to be able to dance like Chanel did. I mean, that was
well, I know, yeah,
incredible.
that's
Yeah,
crazy. So that's
yeah,
why I think just don't do that. Don't put yourself in that position to be compared to them.
yeah,
Change it up. Do something else on the stage in Vienna, I think.
yeah. That's all right at a Eurovision party,
Mm.
trying to be like the
Do
actual
the splits.
artist. Yeah.
Yeah, and throw yourself around on the floor and yeah.
Oh no, flashbacks.
Oh, triggered.
Triggered. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, Germany.
quickly, Adrian, where are we off to next?
Seamus, we are off to Italy, and Italy is sticking to its roots of charisma and vocal excellence. Sal Da Vinci won the 76th Sanremo Music Festival and has officially confirmed his participation in Eurovision with the song Per Sempre Sí, which translates to Forever Yes. Sal Da Vinci's career is a remarkable testament of the enduring power of the Neapolitan music tradition, spanning over 5 decades from his debut as a child prodigy. He was born in New York in 1969 to the legendary singer Mario da Vinci. Sal began performing at just 6 years old, quickly becoming a staple of sceneggiata a unique form of Neapolitan musical drama. His breakthrough came in 1994 when he won the Festival Italiano with the song Vera. Throughout the years, he has balanced a prolific recording career with significant roles in Italian cinema and theatre, consistently serving as a bridge between the classic, emotional melodies of Naples and contemporary Italian pop. Then came 2024 at 55 years old, a time when many artists are settling into the greatest hits tours. Da Vinci experienced a massive viral renaissance that introduced his soulful style to a new generation. He released Rosito a Calf, which translates to lipstick and coffee. It didn't just do well, it exploded, racking up over 70 million streams and proving that classic Italian melody is timeless. So to Sal's Sanremo 2026 victory, which is one of the most dramatic comeback stories in the festival's 76-year history. After finishing third in 2009, he returned 17 years later to claim the Golden Lion in an historically tight race. Sal won by a mere 0.3% over the runner-up. His victory was powered by a massive surge in the public televote and strong support from the radio jury, overcoming the press jury who had leaned towards more alternative acts. The song Per Sempre Sí was strategically written to be a timeless ballad. The song is a classic, upbeat celebration of love. It's a literal vow of commitment celebrating the journey from a first meeting to the altar. It's a song about commitment and the solemn promise that binds people together, and it's very much a feel-good anthem. At 56, Sal proved that his 2024 viral success wasn't a fluke. He is now the fifth Neapolitan singer in history to win the festival. Immediately following the final, Sal held a press conference where he officially said sí to Eurovision and embraced the opportunity, stating that he was immensely proud to bring the Neapolitan soul to the international stage. Now, critics have noted that by writing a song specifically for weddings, Sal essentially has secured royalties for the next 30 years, and they were spot on, and it has already become the number one choice for Italian ceremonies within weeks of the win. As part of the Big Five, Italy and Sal Da Vinci skipped the semi-finals and head straight to the grand final in May. So get your hats, fascinators, and confetti ready, because we're about to have a listen.
So bene che una grande incognita è il futuro, ma insieme a te non mi spaventerà perché costruiremo tutto ma non alzeremo un muro, litigare e far l'amore poi che male c'è, e si accenderà la musica, per te io canterò, il più grande giorno ti regalerò, saremo io e te per sempre legati per la vita che senza te non vale niente, non ha senso vivere, con la mano sul petto io te lo prometto, davanti a Dio saremo io e te, da qui sarà per sempre sì, soltanto sì, per questi giorni e mille altri ancora. Un semplice sì, l'eternità è dentro una parola.
So, Seamus, what do you think of Sal Da Vinci for Italy this year?
I have my confetti cannon ready here, and it's about to pop.
Good. Ooh.
Well, this is non-stop from the start to the end, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
God, Sal, full-on performance for 3 minutes. Well, it's definitely upbeat, like you said in your introduction there. For me, I was getting kind of the look and sound and feel of like an old school Eurovision song from the 70s or something like that. And it has a kind of a real disco feel, in my opinion anyway. Very easy to listen to, enjoyable.
It's not a good start.
But yeah, like, I suppose for me, this is nowhere like the recent entries Italy has sent to Eurovision. You know, for me, there's no real comparison. I think they've sent a lot better things. So I don't see this, you know, anywhere near the top 10 in the final of Eurovision. But people will enjoy it, I'm sure. And I can imagine the public will like it because, like I said, it is easy listening. It is enjoyable, but it's just not of the standard I was expecting from Sanremo, if I'm honest. A couple of things did stand out to me during his performance in Sanremo. His teeth were whiter than his white jacket. I didn't know that was possible.
But that's important, yeah?
Well, I guess so, yeah. And then the other thing, which I really hope he doesn't do, like he did in Sanremo, I really hope in Vienna he doesn't go down into the audience and dance with a woman who I'm assuming was his wife. I presume. No?
I've seen a few videos of him doing that now, so I think it's
He just
whoever's
picks,
there in the front row. Yeah.
right, whoever's the lucky lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found it really cringe. I was like, oh my God, no, please, no. But
Yeah.
look, clever man, like you said, he's going to make a lot of money out of this song. It's going to be at every wedding ceremony. But overall, for me, it's fine, but dated and just doesn't really do much for me, I'm afraid. Yeah, sorry, Sam.
Oh,
Adrian,
Seamus, you're
over to you.
really Debbie Downer today. You really are. Ooh,
Sorry, I
yeah,
just
go
thought,
on. Yeah.
is this the Sal that Sophia in Golden Girls is always talking about?
It might be. It could be. It could be. He's been around a long time, so it possibly could be. Yeah. Look, this is already proving again the More Than Serbia song. This is a bit polarizing.
Hmm.
You know, I think it's sparking a kind of a debate around what's dated and what's modern. I think there's a lot of people who are calling Sal Da Vinci a national treasure with a voice of gold. I think that they're right there. You know, and I think that's what you should stick to. You know, he does have great voice. And then other people are calling this kind of like outdated wedding music, which, you know, they have a point. Personally, I'm surprised to admit it that I genuinely really like this. And I
That's
think
not a
it's,
shocker now. You're a fan of the Italian songs normally.
yeah, I am. Yeah. And I just think that, you know, they always send great singers, always. You know, there's a bit of sentimental stuff going on there, but, you know, it makes me smile, sing along, and it kind of gets you moving. I think this is a very authentic song, which will resonate with the audience. And interestingly, it was written about his relationship with his wife. But it's pure cheese. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's literally in your face cheese. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of cheese lovers out there, though.
Mozzarella
Which,
dripping everywhere.
yeah, but I think there's a lot of cheese lovers out there, and don't dismiss them.
No.
I
I
would
just hope you don't have
strong.
a dairy allergy.
There's a lot of lactose intolerance people as well. So it could be a smelly show. Anyway, look, I would strongly advise, though, against writing this song off. That's really what I would say. I think he has a really good voice. It's catchy melody, and he has stagecraft. And, you know, in my introduction, I did say he basically won the televote, which really gave him the edge in terms of winning San Remo. So there's an appeal there. And in the midst of all the noise in Eurovision and in the world in general, and you know, the overproduced high concept staging, and general chaos sometimes Eurovision can bring, a classic, perfectly sung Italian ballad that makes you feel good, maybe just to be the breath of fresh air that we need. And it could sneak up the order, I think. I predict it will appeal to the juries and older viewers. And, you know, big enough televote, maybe. I think this will do pretty well. I'm interested to see how they'll stage it. I think that's the make or break here. But I would ignore this one at your peril. For me, it's potential top five. And if the stars align the right way, who knows?
Oh.
So yeah, there's something, you know, I think it's been written off. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a dangerous thing to do with any Italian
Yeah,
Eurovision
and no, I'm
song.
not writing it off. I just don't. I just don't see it in the top 10. I'm really
Oh no, I
intrigued.
wasn't referring to you, Seamus. I was just referring to the general commentary that
No, I know
people are.
that.
Please don't take personally. I know you're probably a little bit paranoid with the hangover and everything, but you know, there's no need to come for me. All right, I wasn't coming for you.
I'm not coming for you. But
Yeah,
I am really intrigued to see if this translates outside of Italy. I'm really interested to see how to do with the public at Eurovision.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that'll
think
be
they
interesting.
should. I think they should do something like you suggested for the Germany song, kind of a carnival wedding. I think, you know, that sort of thing.
Like
Um,
Finland in 2013 and Marry Me.
Well, that was a bit probably edgier. Do you know what I mean? You know, they need to keep this cheesy. They need to keep it innocent and sweet,
Yes.
because that's what it is.
Mm.
You know, and you know, who doesn't like a cheesy wedding? Yeah, I like it, and I think it's different and it's fun. And you know, I know some people. I have a couple of Italian friends who kind of went, "What do you think?" And I was like, and they were like asking me because they didn't particularly like it themselves.
Okay.
You know, so I think they're probably a little bit miffed that it won because it wasn't expected to win San Remo was the other thing. So look, we'll wait and see. I suppose like all of this, we have to wait and see
We
what happens in
do.
May.
We
But
do indeed.
I would be, yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with this. Right, Seamus. Now we've done Italy, we've done Serbia, we've done Germany. Who's last on the list in this week's episode?
Well, we're just going to take a short flight of about probably 20 hours and we're going to go
Oh,
down
yeah.
under as we say g'day to Delta Goodrem, who's been internally selected by national broadcaster SBS to represent Australia this year. The 41-year-old songstress has written songs for Eurovision winner Celine Dion. She's worked with Aussie Olivia Newton-John, who represented the UK in 1974. But now Delta is gracing the Eurovision stage herself with her song Eclipse. So Delta signed a recording deal back when she was 15 years of age, and her debut album Innocent Eyes was released in 2003. It went on and topped the Australian album charts for 29 weeks. She's released 7 studio albums, resulting in 9 number 1 singles, and has sold 9 million albums globally. The singer has many strings to her bows, including a stint on Neighbours, a coach on The Voice Australia, and she even battled and beat cancer in 2003. She heads to Eurovision as an independent artist, having established her own record label in 2023. Eclipse was co-written by Delta, along with Faris Alkezi, Jonas Marin, and Michael Fatkin. She'll perform the song in the second half of the second semi-final on Thursday, 14th of May. So let's have a listen to Eclipse.
Call it perfect timing. I call it divine. Gravity is pulling your heart to mine, and it won't be long till the morning comes. In the sky full of stars, I am right where you are. Forever's just begun. One touch, one kiss, all my life for a night like this. The world stops for us, only love exists when we eclipse. When we eclipse, we're your one love. One touch, one kiss, all my life for a night like this. The world stops for us, only love exists when we eclipse.
Adrian, Delta. She's here. She's finally doing it. What do you make of Eclipse?
Oh, Seamus, well, if Skippy were still around, he'd be clicking his tongue in overdrive with excitement, telling us that Australia is not here to make up the numbers this year at Eurovision. This year, Australia means business. I think by sending Delta Goodrem, I think that's the first, obviously, big indicator that they are really going for it this year. Okay, back to the song. I really like the lyrics of the opening verse of the song. I think they immediately draw you in, and it starts delicately and softly and builds into the chorus, which I really like the kind of flow of the song. Really like the piano bridge leading to the key changes and like the real big climactic ending of the song, which showcases her voice amazingly. And I sincerely hope she plays the piano live on stage in Eurovision.
I did wonder. I was like, Adrian might be annoyed.
Yeah, I hope she does. Because Delta is such a big name, like, I mean, the pressure must be immense for her. She's taking a risk and she's out of her comfort zone here. What I'm seeing so far of her, I'm really loving because she's not relying on her star power alone. She's not a diva. She's putting in the hard work. She's doing the promo, both online, on a mainstream media, and she's already sung it live at the Nordic Eurovision Party. And she seems to be really enjoying it. I didn't know about the record label piece, so it looks like she's just in this new chapter, new phase of her career, and I think she's really, really enjoying it. And she's very likable and comes across as a really warm person. The way she interacts with other contestants, and she's very much giving of her time, which is all part of selling it. I know that. But she's a real professional. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to stage this For me, I would keep this simple. No choreography here, please, because she's a storyteller, performer. She uses her hands and her facial movements to draw in the audience into the lyrics. And the camera work will need to be really good on this one. One minor kind of negative about this would be the styling. She's only 41 and she looks fantastic for it. So I'd like to see a little bit, and I think she's already doing this. I'm actually following her now on Insta, so I'm beginning to see she is maybe a slightly edgier feel to her styling now. She used to go for that very feminine silhouette with the long flowing locks and the dress, and that was really her. But I think she just maybe needs to just make her styling team work for their money. Is really what I'm saying. More contemporary look. After 2 consecutive years of failing to reach the final, I think you will definitely break that streak and return Australia to the Saturday night stage, where I think this is a very strong contender to win. You have to respect her on a personal level. She survived Ramsay Street, cancer, and of course Brian McFadden. So she is a trooper.
Brian McFadden was probably the biggest disease of those ones.
The biggest. So she's a trooper. Look, at this is a potential winner in my opinion, and I think it's the more I see, the more I like, and I find myself singing along to the song, which is really actually difficult to sing. That word eclipse is a very hard word to sing. Anyway, I'd love to see this win. I'd like to see Australia winning it. And if they did, I'd love to see it in Australia, and I would definitely be going, but it probably wouldn't, be in Australia because of the logistics. But I'd love to see them win. I think they have a huge chance with this one, because I think this is that kind of song that will appeal, televote. Juries will love this. And I think, in a year that I think the race is a lot tighter. I know Finland are kind of the hot favorites at the moment, but I would see it getting closer at contest time. And it wouldn't surprise me if this snuck a win. Yeah. Seamus, what do you think?
If I was an Aussie, I'd be absolutely delighted right now. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure the Aussie Eurovision fans are absolutely thrilled that Delta is representing them. And for sure, you're dead right. She will break the non-qualification streak, thank God. Yeah, lovely song. Great singer. Like, no doubt about it. She is a great singer. Has been for years and years. Love the music and the instruments in the song, and by God, she throws them all at it. It starts with the harp, and then the piano comes in, and then I think we have some violins and drums as well. Yeah. So there's a lot in this song, but it is still very Delta. It is her type of song. She hasn't gone too far away from, I suppose, what she normally produces and releases. So that's good. But at the same time, she has Eurovisionified it a little bit. There's definitely that big key change, the big notes, the piano solo, the very strong drum beats, which get more stronger and louder towards the end of the song. So she definitely has kind of, sprinkled it with a bit of Eurovision fairy dust, let's say. And I can't wait to see this as well on the stage. I really think this will look beautiful on the stage. And you're right, there's no choreo needed here, no dance breaks or anything needed here. I imagine it'll just be her at the piano. I imagine she will get up from the piano though, and maybe like sing and move to the front of the stage, but maybe then come back to the piano for the solo piano bit maybe. But I am interested to see what way they'll stage it. I just hope that she doesn't do the ghost piano bit that you hate so much. But we'll see about that.
No ghosts playing, please.
And I've no doubt that she is going to give a vocal masterclass as well in Vienna. So yeah, I think she's going to really give a great performance. It will certainly appeal, like you said, I think it will appeal to both the public and the juries. But for me, it's not a winning Eurovision song. I imagine this will come somewhere 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just can't see it winning, but it will do very well.
Is it your dodgy eye? You can't see it winning.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I thought you'd really go for this.
I've gotten to like it more and more, but what I always try and do, I always try and remember the feeling when I heard it first, because again, the majority of people will only hear this once on the final at Eurovision. So I always try and remember that feeling what did I feel when I heard it first? And I liked it, but I didn't feel Eurovision winner. But
Right.
yeah, I'd be hoping for top 5 anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
And I want her to do well, actually. Sorry, that's the other thing
okay,
as well.
okay. Do you
Yes,
know?
because always, when kind of famous, let's say, singers come to Eurovision, I always want them to do well because I think that encourages other famous singers to go into Eurovision as well. Like, I would hate if this bombed, which it won't, by the way, anyway. But yeah, I would like her to do well. And top 5 would be doing well, I think.
Oh
But I just don't see
yeah,
it
I
winning.
mean, yeah, I definitely think it's a top 5. You're right. You know,
Mm,
I think it's definitely going to be up there or thereabout. But
yeah.
I think there is a time again if everything aligns correctly. You know, all of that you
Eclipse,
could
you could
see it.
say, if it lines.
Oh, that's very good, Seamus. You are on the ball.
Oh, for someone who's hungover, I'm doing okay.
You're really well done there, actually. Love it.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right. Like, it could potentially happen, and if everything
Mm.
aligns, and if the staging goes well, and everything goes well, it could. I just don't see it myself, but you will do well. Yeah.
Look, and it's probably a conversation for another time. I think that, you know, and again, I don't want to get political. We've decided to stay away from the politics, but the impact of not having some countries there, like our own country, Ireland, I think this would definitely give this huge vote,
Mm.
because, you know, she's so well known here. So that could go against it. Do
Mm.
you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. I'm kind of like excited to see what she'll do with this, and I think
Yeah.
the vocals will just,
I actually can't wait to be in the arena to listen to this and
yeah,
watch this. I think this
yeah,
will
yeah.
be beautiful.
Okay.
So yeah, good
Yeah.
on you, Delta.
And the
And
best of
yes,
good
yeah,
luck to
and
you
if they do win, it won't be in Australia. I think
in London,
the
probably.
EU have confirmed that, and it will probably more than likely be one of the big 4 or 5 countries like Germany or UK or somewhere.
Exciting. Oh,
Mm.
that's our reviews done. Yeah, you're very, I don't know. You're being
I'm
very
hard to please this season.
stingy. Yeah, you're being stingy with your praise, I think. Yeah, you're been a bit of a Debbie Downer today. I do understand that because of the hangover. But like, you know, is there anything going to excite you at all?
Last episode, I was excited by Finland because I
You
love that song,
were.
and that's my winner at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Always running with the masses. Always running with the masses. Anyway,
So not
okay.
true, by the way.
I know you get edgy every now and again. Yeah. Okay. Right, Seamus. We better wrap this up. What is getting your 0 points this week?
Oh yes, that time of the episode. Okay, this week, I'm sorry, 0 points is going to online haters.
Oh yes, we were talking about this last night. Oh, tell us more,
They've
Seamus.
been
I did
coming for
laugh,
me.
didn't I? I did laugh. Sorry, I did laugh because I got a bit of hate. Just one comment. It was
One
like,
comment.
oh,
I've got about 30 comments.
yes.
Oh,
Tell us more,
yeah.
Seamus.
The
Who's coming
haters
for
on
you?
TikTok. The
Why?
haters on TikTok are coming for me
Yeah.
because in the last episode, I said that I don't like Bangaranga, and I said why I didn't like it, and that's fine. But you can't have an opinion nowadays, Adrian.
No, you
Apparently,
cannot.
apparently I'm
You can't
hating
have a
Dara.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I'm
oh.
sorry. I didn't know that I would said I hate her, which I don't,
And
by the way. And I wish her the
no, you
best of
don't.
luck. I just don't like
Yeah.
the
Oh
song.
no, don't be
I'm
run
entitled
back
to an
now.
opinion.
Stand by your opinion. Have the
Oh,
courage of your
absolutely.
convictions. Yeah.
Absolutely, I
Now,
will.
tell us. Can you remind us what you said about it first?
Well, I just said I don't like anything about the song, basically. I didn't like the staging, didn't like the dancing, didn't like the music, don't like the song.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So yeah,
So,
it's just not, I just think it's, yeah.
what did they say to you? I want to know. What
Oh
did they?
gosh, I should know, like,
You
I
better
don't know.
check
I can't
yourself,
even
girl.
remember.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
don't be hating on Dara, hating yourself and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh,
Oh, right.
go
Okay.
away. Like, gee. Yeah. And apparently it's the
Well,
summer
as
banger of the year. So as someone told me, I'm like, okay, that's great. In
it
Bulgaria,
might be
perhaps.
in Bulgaria. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So can we all just take a
Oh.
chill pill,
Yeah.
people on
Don't.
social media?
We've
You know,
said this many a time before. We're not musical experts.
no.
We're just fans. It is our opinion.
And
You know.
if we don't like a song, it doesn't mean we don't like the artist. Okay,
Yes.
relax, everyone.
Yeah. So we won't be getting any listeners from Bulgaria or where was the other? Oh, Malta. Really, wasn't it for me?
Oh, for you, yeah.
My home was Malta. Yeah, it says more about you than it does about. Yeah, that was mine. And Yeah, okay.
So yeah, but we will not be silenced.
We will not be silenced.
So yeah, haters
well,
gonna hate,
yeah,
haters gonna hate,
yeah,
as Tay
yeah.
says. So what's getting your 0 points, Adrian?
Oh, Seamus, what's getting my 0 points this week is, and again, it's pretty kind of Irish thing. This week, the country went a little crazy. I jumped on the bandwagon and talking about the Irish soccer team.
I was just going to say it
Uh,
must be the soccer.
yeah, jumped on the bandwagon. I was like, going Thursday night came. I was like so excited. I really got wrapped up into it, and I'm not a huge soccer fan, but it was like, oh my god, the media had hyped this up to oh my god levels. So Ireland were playing Czechia in Prague as part of World Cup playoff semi-final. So I set my Thursday evening. I'm going to actually watch the match, and I did, and it was all very exciting, and everything was going great. We went 2-0 up, and then they pegged us back and scored to equalize just with a couple of minutes left, which was very, very, and then nerve-wracking extra time, and then it went to penalties,
Oh, penalties.
which we lost. So it's penalty shootouts. It's like,
cruel.
It's so cruel. Like it is so cruel. It's great when it goes for you, but when it goes against you, and it's so hard on the individuals. And I suppose, look, it is sport. That's why I love sport. It's so dramatic. Anything can happen. You can't win everything. You do lose. But I just thought it was like the depression on Friday morning around Ireland and Dublin, and with everybody was like, oh, so we're not going to the World Cup, and we lost the penalty shootout. Depressing. But anyway, that's getting my 0 points. So
there was a lot of gutted Irish soccer fans, all right, during the week.
Serves you right. I shouldn't have got on the bandwagon, but I did. But anyway. Yeah.
So we're all guilty of that at times.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Seamus, just before we finish, tell us how people can get in contact with us.
Yes,
especially your fans from Bulgaria.
Yes, anyone from Bulgaria. Or around the world. I might
give out your personal email and your number, maybe, on social media just to see what people say.
Oh my God, you would. You'd rat me out, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't. God, no.
No, but anyway, you can, of course, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Just search Sorry 0 Points. And in the next episode, actually, we'll be reviewing 4 more countries, and we'll also be remembering Iceland at the Eurovision, and we'll have our interview with Vaeb.
Very exciting. And for those Bulgarian Seamus haters, his number is beep, beep, beep. Only joking. You can continue to give him hate via our socials. Look forward to seeing what they say this week. Anyway, Seamus, we survived. We're still here. Yes, we will not be silenced.
I'm off for a Baraka now.
I'm off for a spice bag. Woo! Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening, everybody.